UCS X-Wing.
Hi, I'm Henrik Andersen, and I'm a design master working for Lego Star Wars, and this is the new UCS X-Wing. I think the time to revisit the X-Wing in a UCS form, it's relevant every whatever years, because you have a new audience, you have a new generations coming along, so thereby you also have new fans. And there's a lot of people that weren't around, or maybe not being fans 10 years ago, so they weren't able to buy the previous one. So it will always be an obvious choice to remake at some point. The thing I started thinking about the first was that I wanted to decorate the cockpit this time around. I didn't want to have stickers on it. And I also knew that I was going to use the same elements. So I basically took the element into a 3D modeling program together with photos of the original movie prop and scaled the whole thing around the cockpit. And then I started building. And then also, different from the previous versions, I wanted the shape of the fuselage to be much more correct. So I've used a lot of time working on the hexagonal shape of the fuselage and the tapering nose. So that was probably the biggest design task. And then I also liked the challenge of building the S-foils without too much complex technique builds. So there's actually not a single technique gear in this model, even though it has a function. Of course, with 10 years going past, you get a lot of new Lego pieces, so you can do things differently, and you can get a lot more detail into a model. So if you look at the original one, there's an update 10 years later that looks better, and then this one, so you have a natural progression. If you see the old one here and the new one, you see the old one is much more sort of normal brick built, where this is more plate that's the angles. It has stickers, of course, on the plaque and on the cockpit. This time around, the plaque is also decorated. You have, if you look on the inside of the wings, maybe I can turn this a bit. I've used inverted tiles, so you have less visible tube sides, as you have in this one. And in this one, you have a really, really complex technique build. But probably most prominent is the engine size. Where in this one, we have made new elements to make the engines bigger, more correct to scale. So there's a lot of small, subtle differences. When I started working on this, one of my initial thoughts was that this time around we didn't want stickers on the cockpit. So I had to work around the price of getting this one decorated to make sure that it looked nice on the final product. So that was my biggest thing in the beginning, and I think it turned out super nice. Our graphic designers did a really great job here. I think there's always maybe one big challenge, but several, and for this one it was the tapering nose, and then the function inside the fuselage was the biggest challenges. For the function, I looked at different versions. I actually started scaling up the one from the retail model. If that was a possibility, it turned out it wouldn't because of the size of the wings. And then I did another version. Then I found out that you actually have better stability in bricks when you flip them on the side. So that's why the technique built in here is flip on the side. So just different solutions, and then ending up with a nice way of doing it. I think what I'm most satisfied is the hexagonal shape of the fuselage. When you look at it all the way down from out here and way down to the end, it's the same shape as the original prop. So I really enjoy that.
Is the Luke minifigure likely to remain exclusive to the set?
I actually don't know if he is going to remain exclusive for this set, but my guess is that he will, yeah.
So where are we with kind of exclusive minifigures with UCS sets at the moment?
There's no rule, but it's always a discussion between the designer, the graphic designer, and the creative lead. What can we do to make this exclusive? But there's no rule in general. I'm Henrik. Thanks for watching. This was my UCS X-Wing. Have a nice day.